Hello, everybody. Yeah, I know it's been a while. This is Saki Nakaido Stuff Final to Anime here, aka John Pullman, horror author, manga writer, personality name here, aka Gabe here. And remember to, hopefully have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, and night. Most importantly, remember to stay safe out there. And remember, stay tuned for more new, awesome, epic, amazing content coming to the channel in general. Also, if you feel like it, use the time stamps slash time links or whatever down below. As you can hear, I'm a bit stuffy. I'm just getting over a sickness. So I mean, I would have made more posts and more videos. But I am recovering surely but slowly. Doing better now. But I also want to mention that I watched a very funny but messed up video called the Class of '09, the anime pilot. I know what the game anime is about, and I know what the anime video in general is about. It's funny in some ways, but at the same time, it's not. So if anybody wants me to do a reaction video to that, just know there's going to be things that you would not expect. But enough of that being said, as you can see the title, this is my interview with Dropman. Say hello.
Hello.
Alright, so I'm going to give him the signal now, and we're good to go. Interview starting.
Who is your favorite character?
My favorite character from a story that I have made, we'll go with a recent one. I gotta say, it has to be, probably Andy Okuma from the Moko-chan series. I just felt so bad for him because of how his character is developed and how much it really plays on Makoto's heart for the story. Um, yeah, his character was actually very important, whether people didn't really see that or not. I'm good for the next question.
Where does where do the ideas come from, and how do they affect the story?
So that's a good question. The ideas actually they come from my mind. It's funny because when you're listening to music, as I do, when I listen to music, it just helps me think of the ideas, and I just bring them to life. And you said how they affect the story.
Yes, was here.
They affect the story because of how important it plays a role into the story in general. Because some things and some things are not important. There is a few good examples or maybe explanations, but I'd have to say that with great power comes great responsibility. Because as an example, the main protagonist for the end, he was a very calm and good protagonist until he received brain damage and had split personalities, turned him into a monster, made the ending a bit more sadder than it was supposed to be, but it had no restraints on cut content because it was a director's cut.
What represents the personalities of the characters?
Their clothes, and their minds and how they think. If a character has all black wearing, if a character has all black on them, it means that they're in a dark place, or maybe they just have a dark personality, or you don't know what to think of them. If a character is wearing blue, then they're possibly a joyful character and a character that you can probably rely on if it comes to a situation of bad things. It takes a lot for characters' personalities and what they represent. Also, to everyone, make sure you drink a bunch of water. It's healthy.
What was the most? I can't read it. What? Oh, okay. What was the most disturbing death thus far?
Oh God. What was the most disturbing death thus far? God. It'd probably have to be Lizzie's death from the end. Because she's a character that doesn't get much screen time, but she's just like really just a plot character. And I say her death is most disturbing when people actually pointed it out and said, for this story, this part is very disturbing. It just, took a lot of thought of how, like everything else, of how to make it disturbing, how to make it sad, especially when you're in the end of the world. Lizzie's death was actually a sad death, but in a way it was gruesome, disgusting, and very, very horrific with, as I call it, nightmare fuel. That is the, yeah, that's...
How much creation does it take for your horror mangas?
Takes a lot of creation. I have a lot of scrapped content, because for some that I can't show and put into the stories, and with some that is okay, I can show them, but on, some ground rules, but I always make sure to have a cut content thing if there actually is and how much scrap content there was. But yet, the content in general just, takes a lot of thought and effort, especially for cut content. I always make sure to give out content warnings. So on and so forth. Stuff like that, yeah.
When did you first start making horror mangas?
2013, before I actually became a YouTuber. When I was in middle school, I was up late one night in my room at my mom's house, and I just had all these notebooks, and I was like jotting down things that I was like so bored, and I was like, okay, this and that can fit here. So those stories still remain to this day from 2013 when I was in middle school before becoming a YouTuber. Um, but I can't really tell a lot of them because of what it has in them. I did go back and read some of them though. They're very interesting.
How long does it take to think of the ideas you use?
Uh, it doesn't take that long for the ideas I use, unless I have more and more to put it down and then take a break and jot more ideas down. As I said with music before, the ideas do not take that long to think of, and gladfully so, except, as I said, if you have other creation ideas, then you will take longer with that certain episode chapter, etc. Especially when a cutscene character design comes into play for important parts of the story.
I see.
Yeah.
Does it take a long time to make multiple seasons?
Yes, it does. Because there's something special about it, with all of that. The special thing with multiple seasons of how long it takes is, okay, I go back, I reread it, I rewatch it, and it's like, for certain ones, if something ends and doesn't have a continuation like Two Worlds. That story was concluded in that story because the entirety of the real world and the other world just got completely erased out of existence. For multiple seasons, it takes a while if I see an opening for anything else. It takes a while to think of new, fresh ideas, but I am always coming up with more fantastic, horrifying new formula ideas to fit in separate stories and to fit in the current season itself. Fun fact is that season 3, or maybe it was season 4, I really don't remember, that almost got canceled for the Moko-chan series because I was a bit afraid of how the story would go in a different way, so I had to change up some ideas. Luckily, with the Eye of the Moon story arc, that stuff actually was put into place for a certain thing important to the story before season 4 actually ever existed. So, I mean, yeah, it does take a while to make multiple seasons. I am good for the next question, sir. It does take
How
a while.
long does it take to figure out your acting before a story is published?
Huh. So, it, for the acting, it takes at least over 6 different recording sessions. I watch the acting back, and I think to myself, this one could work. So then I make a new recording before the story is published. And when I put everything I rewatched together, from the rehearsing of acting in different videos to the final, I don't want to call it a product, but, the final acting stage, if you will, of the actual story, then I'm like, okay, that's good. We can go with that. So, it really doesn't take that much thought and effort of the acting. It actually, in fact, it does for many reasons. As I said, I have to rewatch at least 6 recordings back to back. That way I'm prepared for the actual story. Is there another question you got for me, sir? Well, better check up with him. Okay, so now we're on the last question. What is the last question?
Do the opinions and ending of a story I'm sorry.
Huh?
Do the opening and ending songs tell a story of their own?
Yes, actually. It does. It does tell a story of its own. And that one's a bit hard to describe because I've actually forgotten some of them. But yes, in short terms of events, it does tell a story of its own, or it could possibly spoil the story of the entire story of the opening. Which is why I always say skip ahead if you don't want to hear this, but for those who don't care, then feel free. But yes, in my opinion, it does tell a story of its own for both the opening and ending songs. Yes, it does. Is there any other questions you would wish to ask me?
I think that's it. That's all that's on the list.
Okay. Well, everybody, this has been my official interview. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed it. Oh, Um, as I'm going about this, the final season of the Moko-chan series and many other things are in the works right now. They're taking a little bit because of me still recovering from my sickness I got a few days ago. Um, and just other busy things as well. But I just figured I'd update all of you on that. It is coming officially, still releasing this year. Just got to get the ideas put on, and as always, it eventually works out. It always does. Thank you for interviewing me, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Yes. So, everybody, this has been Saki Nakaido, Stuff of Funny Lens You Anime here, aka John Pullman, horror author, manga writer, personality name here, aka Gabe here. And remember to hopefully have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, and night. And most importantly, remember to stay safe out there. And stay tuned for more new, awesome, epic, amazing content coming to the channel in general. And with that said, everybody, I'm out for now. I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace out, everybody, and bye-bye.